All right, really, really special interview today. I have with me Robin Chandler, who is a trans woman arm wrestling champion. How you doing, Robin?
Oh, I'm good. How you doing, John?
Good, good, good. So you have titles in both men and women's divisions.
I do, yeah. I was
Okay.
when I first started competing, they wouldn't let me compete with the women because I hadn't had my finished my surgery. So it was either compete with the guys or don't compete. So
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I got you. So you always competed as you weren't competing before you transitioned. You always competed like
yeah, I was
oh,
always
okay.
always me. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So let's start with arm wrestling. What made you get into arm wrestling?
Well, I used to be a bouncer at the Mexican bar up in Idaho when I lived up there,
Hmm.
and my I took Taekwondo, and the Taekwondo master was the bartender, and he volunteered me for a tournament they was having there. So that's how I got started.
You mean an arm wrestling tournament?
Yeah,
And had you doing that in that
I
tournament?
won. But
You know
yeah,
what?
so anyway, I go in there, and this one girl is they're running this kind of a family runs the deal there, and she had a broken arm, and I says, "What happened to you?" She says, "Oh, that big girl over there, she broke my arm last tournament." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I got to go against this girl."
Yeah,
I was kind of pissing my pants a little bit,
yeah, yeah.
but
Sure.
yeah, I went against her, and I won, but it wasn't easy.
I could imagine, yeah. Especially when
Yeah,
you really don't know what you're doing at the beginning, you know? I mean, when I interviewed Mike Aiello, he was saying at the beginning when I was arm wrestling against the amateurs, he's so big and strong that it was just brute force and it was just breaking down through everybody. And then once he got to the pros, it was like he got hit with a ton of bricks because he's like, well, he had to like relearn everything again because he just couldn't take him down with brute strength. It was all strategy and whatnot.
yeah,
So how did
yes.
you? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's different, you got to have your strength, but you got to know how to use it too. That
Mhm.
takes a while to learn.
So where did you go from there? How did you get into tournaments and how did you turn pro?
Well, I guess I got sick of getting. I used to compete in Taekwondo too with the
Hmm.
guys, and I
Hmm.
got sick of getting kicked in the head, so I decided to take up arm wrestling. I
Good
currently have not
choice.
got kicked in the head yet,
Good
so
choice.
with
Good
arm
choice.
wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about the state title. I know you have 5 state titles.
Yeah, I think I got something like five in the men's anyway. I
Okay.
think I got 30 something state titles in the women's class. I don't know. I have a lot,
Oh,
but
that's good. That's good.
yeah. So my first state title was up in Oregon. I
Hmm.
always rubbed Jody Williams about it because I won a Oregon state title before he did. So
Oh,
he
wow.
finally
Okay.
finally did get him one. So we're all even there. So yeah. And then I won a couple state titles in Idaho in the masters class
Hmm.
at the WAL event,
Okay.
and I won a couple amateur state titles in Idaho too. So
Okay.
ironically, I won a couple amateur state titles at the tournament and only got third in the women's class that day.
Really?
Yeah. So
So how did you do in the pros
oh,
once you turned pro?
I only pulled one amateur women's class and I got
Uh,
second in it. And then I
okay.
was because it's hard. There's never usually very many amateur women's classes.
Right. There was quite a
It's
few the
weird.
other
I'm
night.
looking at myself in this damn screen here. I don't know how to fix it. So I'm just looking like I'm talking to myself and you're in the corner.
No,
So
you're okay. It's fine with me. You look at
oh, okay.
there's a way you could do like a side by side shot, which is the way I
Oh,
have it. But
I'm sure we ain't got time enough to teach me how to do that. So
okay, it's actually surprising how many girls are interested in arm wrestling. I did not realize how many girls are interested in arm wrestling. I've interviewed Michelle, Nancy, Marlene,
Marlon,
Gabrielle,
you're pronouncing her
Marlon.
name wrong. It's
I
Marlon.
know, I know. It's because it's the Italian in me. Marlene, when it's an I, it's an E. It's
Oh,
Marlon. So that's right.
I was just
Uh,
gonna blame it on New Jersey. That's all.
hey, I grew up in Brooklyn.
Oh well, that's not a lot of difference.
Yeah. And now you, and there's plenty, and I'm trying to get some of the big boys on, but it's difficult. So let's get back to you.
Okay.
So how now getting into your transition, how old were you when you started feeling like that you wanted to make this transition?
Oh, as soon as I knew what was going on, I don't know, 4, 5, I guess, 6, maybe.
Really, that
We're
early?
talking the early 70s, though. So,
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right,
you
right.
didn't even talk about being homosexual or anything back then.
No,
So,
it was, yeah, you're right. It was like taking your life in your hands back then. Tell me about it.
yeah,
Especially if you grew up like, it sounds like you grew up on the East Coast. You have some kind of did you grow up
East Coast.
in did you grow
Yeah,
up in Providence or Boston, or
no,
where'd you go?
Maine,
Maine. Okay. So
northwestern Maine. Yeah,
yeah, so if
almost
you
Canada.
say again.
Almost in Canada. I'm
Wow,
almost
that
Canadian.
wow. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
No wonder you like arm wrestling. So
I guess.
how did you express yourself at that age that you weren't comfortable in your own skin?
I didn't express myself. I didn't want anybody to know about it. So I tried to be as much as I could the other person.
So you just hit it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How much did you hit? Did you have girlfriends? Did
Oh, I was married twice. I got a 20. My son will be 29 here in September. So,
wow. Okay. So you were married twice, and
mhm.
you also have a very masculine job, right? You're a truck driver.
Well, I guess used to be that way, but there's a lot more women in it now.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you know what? You're right. Things change. Things really, really have changed. There's a lot more, and for the good. The diversity in the careers are a lot better. Um, so what about high school? Did you have girlfriends? Was it
No,
what is a struggle, or anything like that?
no, I quit. I quit school in ninth grade and went to work. So
Okay, all right. So there was no high school.
I did get my GED to join the army
Oh,
in
you were in the
'89.
so you were in the military. Did you see any real action?
No, I didn't like them. I was living in my car at the time, so it was either live in the car or go to the military.
Wow, it sounds like you had a little rough upbringing. Sounds like it was a little rough.
Yeah, mostly self-induced, but it was what it was. So made me who I am today, I guess.
And what do you mean by self-induced?
Well, I was just pig-headed and just stubborn, and I don't know, just trying to figure myself out, making bad choices and so on.
I think we all go through that.
Well, I mean, making bad choices, so burning my bridges as far as like my parents was like, well, if you want to act
uh,
like that, you have to be on your own type of thing.
oh, well, if you don't mind me asking, how bad was it? Was it drugs? Was it getting
Oh no,
arrested?
I've never even done marijuana in my life. No,
Really?
it's just I was just very independent. They wanted me to act a certain way, and I says they didn't want to, stuff like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Party and drinking, things like that.
Yeah, a
No
lot.
drugs.
Okay, all right, all right. So, are you attracted to men and women, or do you have a choice, or do you
Oh,
prefer?
mostly women, but once in a while I'll see a guy that's like kind of nice, but that's about
Okay.
it. So I've been single for 15 years, so I don't ever see myself in a relationship again. I'm quite happy being by myself.
Yeah, you kind of get adjusted to it, right? It's just, so
Yeah.
that's a question that that's a
Man,
question.
I
Is
learned how to
that
hold my head. I get my goddamn triple chins here going on.
the
Getting old. It
yeah,
sucks. You
join
can
the
edit that shit out, right?
yeah, I could do yeah, I'll try
Oh,
to
you
get
know,
him to blur it out or something, but
yeah,
I'll
okay,
try to get
whatever.
the edit person to blur it out. But
Yeah, that's right. De-aging shit. We need that. De-aging. They need to have
yeah,
an app for de-aging.
that's right. That's right. I think they actually do. Actually, I know they have apps that make you look like what you're gonna look
How
like when
come
you're
I'm not on
older.
that program then?
Yeah, I gotta fucking buy it. That's why I'm cheap. I don't buy that shit.
So,
So
so what did you think when I walked up there? I thought you'd be bigger.
yeah, I'm not very tall. I'm five.
Well, you're Italian. I've just learned they're short people. I'm Irish,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I'm 5'8" on a good day. I'm
is
not. I
that when
was.
you had is that when you had hair? You're 5'8" or is it
Yeah,
5'8"
yeah,
now?
yeah. It's five. It's about 5'7.5" right now. Yeah,
Okay.
it's about 5'7.5" right now. So all right. So you're going through all these changes. You're kind of still attracted to women. So that's a question that a lot of people want to know, because that's confusing to a lot of people. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
could explain it, but you went
Well,
from a,
sexual identity and orientation are two different things.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
It's how, I mean, orientation is, how do you feel? I mean, do you feel like a guy or a girl?
mm-hmm.
I guess nowadays they're in betweens. I don't understand that. It's not my thing. And then sexual identity is what I just said, and then orientation, whether you like girls or guys. So
Okay.
I don't really get in the community, to be too honest with you. I just do my own thing. So every once in a while you hear they've invented some other new thing, XQ. I don't know what the hell's going on. I can't keep
Yeah,
up
I
with
mean,
that.
I don't think anybody can, to be honest with you.
I
You
just do
know,
my own thing and try to
yeah,
live my life. So
yeah. So have you had success with girlfriends as a woman?
never dated anybody as a woman.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of clears it up. That makes it easy. All right.
Although the dentist was flirting with me today while I was getting my teeth cleaned. So that
Really?
was
That's
yeah, she comes out with her phone after, and this is what I look like without my mask on. And I says, "Oh, that's nice." She was
yeah,
nice looking, but I'm like, you just beat the hell out of me in the chair for a while. I was gonna have to take.
yeah. All right. So now, take me through the actual transition. I mean, what age did you finally decide? Okay, that's it. I'm doing this.
36.
Okay, so 36, you decide and you go to see a physician. How does the whole process work?
Well, I knew this girl that was like me, and
Hmm.
then I'm like, I started working with her. She was a truck driver too,
Hmm.
and I says, well, listen, I'm gonna try it because you know what, you never know. But
Hmm.
honestly, I always didn't think it'd work out because of all my tattoos,
Hmm.
But more girls are getting tattoos now, so.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my wife, but her whole, well, she had a shirt on, but her entire back is tattooed up. You
Oh yeah,
know,
no,
yeah, they were
no,
there.
I
Yeah.
didn't pay much attention. She's a very beautiful looking lady, so
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's no big deal. Plenty of girls have tattoos,
right,
that's not
yeah.
but it's okay. So you spoke to somebody who you knew that was doing the same thing, and she introduced you to what?
Well, back then we used to get the pills off the black market.
What kind of pills?
Estrogen and what did they had a pill that blocks your testosterone. I can't
Okay.
remember what it was called, but
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So we used to self medicate and stuff because you should always get your levels checked because you could really do damage to yourself. But
Sure.
it's always embarrassing to find a doctor. Back when I first started, it wasn't. I used to get turned away from doctors. They'd be like, "We don't treat people like you," and things like that. So it
Mhm.
was rough.
So what year
So
was
it was
that? When you were
embarrassing.
36, what year was that?
Well, I was born in 70, so I don't know. It
So
was
97.
07, oh 06. Oh 06, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay. Yeah.
2006.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, how times have changed, right? Now there's plenty of science and doctors that'll take it. So
Well, I
you
mean, back then the internet was kind of a baby, so I
yeah.
didn't. Growing up, I didn't even know what it was. I
Mhm.
thought it was something terrible.
So
All I
yeah.
wanted to do was just be normal, and I just couldn't seem to be normal. So,
And did you try to be normal? Like you said, you joined the army, you were drinking and having a good time. You got married twice, so apparently you tried.
mm,
And
yeah, I wasn't
was
very
it a
good at being
struggle?
married.
Yeah. Was it a struggle when you were
Yeah,
married?
yeah, that's why I drank so much. I
Oh
just didn't
wow.
like myself. So.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so you go on the black market, you get say these pills that block that block your testosterone, and you
Spirolactone, that's what it was called.
what was it called?
Spirolactone.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah.
And then you get estrogen pills. Okay, so then where do you go from there?
Oh, I start the process, and I moved to Idaho from Maine at that point.
What caused the
So,
move?
uh, well, I was seeing this girl that was transgender, and I was working with her and stuff, and I just wanted to get away from the spawn of Satan ex-wife I had. So I out of state.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
So
in.
I went in the process of changing my name legally and so on like that.
Okay. What if you don't mind
I
me
remember
asking?
one time I was checking into a customer because I'm a truck driver and I had my old name and license and everything. My old license had my own name and picture on it. And they
Mhm.
says, "Oh, do you just dress up like this to work for work?" And I says, "No." I says, "I don't dress up like this for work." And it was stupid things like that. It's always so embarrassing that you
Yeah.
know, had to deal with all the time.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your first name when you were a man?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. That stuff's really, it doesn't
No
matter.
problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. Okay, so
It
you moved
wasn't
up.
Robin, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
yeah. Well, I mean,
So
there's some guys named Robin. You had Robin Williams, but it wasn't that. So
okay. So so you go so you move to Idaho
yeah.
And so take me through the steps with the transition. You're still taking pills from the black market and whatnot?
Yeah, I was. I don't remember how long I took them up until I think it was when the government started banning them and you couldn't really get them anymore. Then I had to find a doctor.
Okay.
So, yeah, but then I found a doctor. He was a gay doctor. Him and his husband worked at the same clinic, and they were super cool.
Okay.
And they got me set up to go get my surgery then, and they would actually bring me groceries to my house when I was healing up from the procedure. They're super nice people.
Those are nice. Now, when you say surgery, explain what kind of surgery.
Well, gender reassignment surgery, getting rid of the old male goodies down there.
Wow. So you're really committed to this thing, huh?
Yeah, pretty committed. Yeah.
There's no going back now. That's it.
Yeah, the factory's been shut down and there ain't no more working people
Okay.
there. So
all right. Okay. Would you feel comfortable going into that or no?
Well, I mean,
The process?
I mean, you can just do the research. It's a pretty invasive procedure. So
I figured that. I could only imagine.
I couldn't even sleep on my left side for 6 months.
Mamma mia. Wow. Yeah, that is commitment.
And I was afraid if I started doing tournaments again that I was gonna, because they cauterize all the blood vessels that used to go to your testicles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I was worried that I would rip one of them open and internally bleed to death or something. So I was at a crossroads. I didn't know if I wanted to compete again. I was scared about how far can I commit to it. I guess you look at it like if somebody broke their arm and then first couple matches back afterwards, you're like, is it going to hold up? I kind of felt like that.
Okay.
I never really said, but yeah, it was tough.
So I have a couple of questions about that. So now you have for lack of a better term, fully functioning female genitalia, if you will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there sensation?
There's sensation, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't work like people think, so.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what is it? What do you mean?
Well, it's just not, it's just more cosmetic than anything. It doesn't really do much.
I see.
Yeah. I'm too old to care, but you're supposed to, yeah, I just don't want to talk about it. So.
No problem. We could skip on to the next thing. No big deal. Okay. So you're committed to this thing. You go through the surgery. It takes 6 months for you to heal. And then how long did it take before you actually got back into arm wrestling?
Well, 6 months after the surgery, I had to have my gallbladder removed. So I had to have another surgery.
Wow. And you probably didn't see that coming.
Not really.
Okay.
Kind of get me. Well, I was having a lot of pain and I didn't know what it was. And we finally figured out it was gallbladder. It was pregnant with stones.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So you get that taken care of. Is there any regular visits to a particular doctor you have to go to make sure everything is fine and so on and so forth? Is there a process you have to?
I don't know. I mean, not really.
No.
So, I mean, I have my doctor now. She's a trans woman like me up here in Maine. Good. I found her and I see her a lot. Matter of fact, I got an appointment to see her tomorrow because when I was training, I'm training for the Worlds in Florida. And
a lot of good arm wrestlers are going to be there.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you call this maneuver, but you're on the bench, right? And you're picking up the weight. I think they call it rows, and you're just lifting it up straight like that. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, one-arm rows, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing 80 pounds, one-arm rows, and I think I strained a groin. I'm not sure what it was. And then at the tournament Sunday, I think I aggravated it again.
Oh, yeah, you better go get that checked out.
It's right in that area where I had surgery, so I'm a little concerned about it, if I'm being honest.
I hope it's not a hernia,
Well, I don't know if you get a hernia down there. Usually you get it in your abdomen. So
yeah, but there's several types of hernias. But then again, everything's different now with you. So I don't, you're right. But get it checked out. Definitely. Yeah,
so I stopped doing that workout and it seemed to heal up. And then,
good.
And of course I hurt my shoulder a few tournaments ago too. So, I got to go get that looked at tomorrow too. So I don't heal up without. People don't realize how much testosterone helps you with your healing.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is true. 100%. There's no question about it. I'm on testosterone.
I've noticed now that I don't know if I'm getting old, but I just seem to break down a lot. So
Yeah, it's well, I mean, that's just general. I mean, me too. I mean, I was always into bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I had 3 herniated discs and spinal stenosis. I had to get a piece of my spine fused in
Hmm.
October. Yeah, and it
So
was
how
just
are you doing with that?
oh, much better. I'm not nearly as strong as I used to be, but much better.
Well, you're
So
getting older too. How old are you, John?
I'm 45. You know,
Yeah, so you're not too far behind.
no,
It's
not at
about when
all.
things start slowing down, ain't it?
That's the truth. It really is.
Have you thought
Absolutely.
about the HRT? Maybe I'm not saying that
No,
right.
no, no, yeah, no. I'm on testosterone therapy as we speak.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard it does wonders for uh, making you feel younger and stuff. I don't know. I've
It
never
does.
took
It
it.
does. It for I had low testosterone for a while,
What do
and
you
it
consider low? I'll tell you what my numbers are right now.
I can imagine. Low was the low when I was low, it was below 200. So it was like
Yeah, that's
one. It was
pretty
one and
low.
change, and
Now
now
is that total or free
the
testosterone?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I really don't know. I just know that it was low, and I had
But it
to
was
go.
200, right? It was
It
total then.
it was low. Yeah, low was below 200. It was like one and change. I
No, I
forgot.
mean that if it was your free testosterone reading,
Right.
you're probably about 90 or something.
Yeah,
But I'd
probably.
say it was your total. So your total was two something
No, no, below two.
before.
It was below two.
Yeah. When I was competing with the guys before I had my surgery, mine was
Hmm.
at 90, and I would
Yeah.
still compete with guys juiced out of their effing minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what? I still kicked your ass. So I don't know what your excuse
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
They
No,
have no
it's
idea how strong I used to be before I went on this shit.
but
So
that's what threw me off when my testosterone was low, right? I was very sluggish and my sex drive was very low. I would drink a pre-workout to get to the gym because I was very sluggish straight from work. And I would go to the gym and I would still squat over 500. I would still, and I'd be like, there's no way my test levels are low. I would
yeah.
still squat over 500. I would still bench over 400. And then finally I just went to the doctor. I got a checkup and he's like, John, your test levels are extremely low. And then once we went on the testosterone therapy, now my test levels are up to are hover around 600. It's
I
like
was gonna
night.
say they should be around 500 or 600 for your
Yeah,
age.
yeah, and it's like night and day,
I
night
know this
and
one
day.
guy from Florida. He's on test and he's at 1500. He told me
Well,
this is
that means
before. This
he's
is
taking
when he used to talk to me, and he's broke the same friggin' arm twice.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like
if he's
thinking to
down
myself,
1500, that means he's juicing his balls off. That means he's taking way too much testosterone.
I know, right? I'm just like,
Yeah,
and this is a guy that sings how unfair it is for me. I love hypocrites, but
yeah.
hey, whatever.
If you're that high, that means you're taking away. It's usually and it's anywhere. The safe zone is between 3 and 800. That's
People
usually
like
the
him gonna
safe zone.
stroke out before they get to be my age.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. It's not. As you get older, it's really. You do stupid things when you're young. You bounce back like that.
Yeah.
When you're older and you want to abuse your body like that, it is not the same.
So now my test levels are 20.
well, that's what you wanted, right?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. But you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, definitely not.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the sad thing is I knew how strong I used to be, and now where I'm at, I have to train. Before I was just I could show up and kick ass. Now I
Yeah.
just show up.
Yeah. Okay, so you get the total transition, you get it done, you're healed, you go back into arm wrestling.
Well, the first tournament I came back, I was in Missouri, oh, strongest badge, and there was this girl competing. She was probably 130 pounds or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, and I didn't know who she was. She was fairly new, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm up there arm wrestling against her, and I'm struggling. I'm like, holy shit, this girl is amazing. She's like the next big thing. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And I congratulated how strong she was because I barely beat her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple more tournaments, I'm doing the same thing, and I'm taking some L's, and I'm like, what the hell is going
Mm-hmm.
on?
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered that she wasn't as strong as I thought. I was just weaker. I wasn't as strong as I was. So,
So it's a big transition. It's a big
so
change.
I couldn't compete at the world level until I had surgery, and then 2 years of therapy after the surgery. And it honestly takes a long time to wean your system out of the testosterone that you used to have.
Yeah.
So now I'm in 3 years surgery and I'm in a rebuilding situation. I'm starting to feel pretty good again, but it's been a lot of work. And as you can see, I've hurt my body a lot in the process. It just doesn't heal anymore. I'm going to be 51 in September too.
Yeah. But you know what? There was a lot. I did not realize how old the guys are that still arm wrestle. There was guys that were really up there, way older than us arm wrestling Sunday.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
it had to be some guys in their 60s.
Older people. Yeah.
Had to be a couple of guys in their 60s. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're not what you used to be. And it's a shame that, I mean, we like our mind thinks we can still do these things, and our body just says no. But I mean, it is what it is. It's very humbling when you get older.
Oh, it's just the story of every athlete. The story of every athlete, you know. Okay, so surprising to me was that they actually allowed you to compete with the girls.
I mean, I'm legally a girl. I got all my birth certificates changed, everything.
Okay, so that's it. Once you're legally a girl, there's nothing they could do if you want to compete.
Well, that's not true.
No,
they can do whatever they want. It's their event.
Oh, okay. So they could say no, you can't.
There's a couple of organizations that doesn't want me there to compete, and I just don't go.
Yeah, right. Of course.
I've never made a fuss. I mean, if you don't want to compete against me, I don't press the issue. So.
Yeah, right. Well, that's very decent of you, you know. So how much pushback have you got from either the leagues or the girls themselves?
What do you mean?
Well, like, you said there was a couple of leagues that don't allow you to compete, right?
Yeah, I usually get a lot of fuss from girls that aren't even in my weight class, which makes me chuckle. I'm like, I'm not even going to be competing against you. What's the problem? But,
right. And then that was my next question. When you first started competing as a woman, how much pushback did you get from the actual girls? Were there a lot of complaints or so on and so forth? Because it sounds like now.
Well, the guys didn't even want to compete against me because I was beating them.
Oh.
I'm like, well, shit, where am I supposed to go? The girl, I ain't allowed in the women's class, and now the guys' class don't want me in there. I mean, you better grow a set.
Yeah.
I got to be somewhere, and this is where I'm at. So
yeah, right.
You know, let's just grip up on the table and see what happens.
Right.
I had a couple guys call me out, wanted to break my arm. I said, all right, bring your money, Bubba, and show up to the table, and let's do it. I ain't broke my arm yet, so
right. Well, how bad has the trolling or the insults have been?
Pretty bad.
Really?
It's not too bad lately, but when I first started, it was pretty bad.
I think it's becoming more accepting now. I think people are more accepting of it now.
I don't know. Maybe they're just like, she ain't leaving, so we just
tough shit, can't do it. Yeah. Are you the only trans woman arm wrestler? Or
well, I'm the only one that admits it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could see that. Because that happened in an MMA fight. I don't know do you know who Fallon Fox is?
Oh yes, I've talked with her. I'm not a big fan of hers. But
yeah, I heard she was fighting as a woman and told nobody that she was previously a man.
Well, it's a tough situation, you know. Once you let the cat out of the bag, it's never the same. Mm-hmm. Part of me always wanted to be like, well, I wish I wouldn't have told anybody, but then there's part of me that's like, no, I think it's the right thing to do.
It definitely is the right thing to do. You know, it definitely is. Yeah, you know, if you're the only person and you want to compete in arm wrestling, then I guess that's just you doing what you do. You compete in a league that allows you. And as long as the girls are okay with it, I'm assuming they tell the girls beforehand that you're going to be competing.
They have before. But honestly, most people know about me by now. I mean, I've been doing it 11 and 12
for
years.
a long time. Yeah, right. So they know. And
everybody in every country knows who I am. It's either they root for me or they root for me to win or root for me to lose, I guess. Yeah. They show up, though, either way.
I was going to say, as long as they're filling seats, it doesn't really matter, right?
Right. I guess so.
So you're basically doing the right thing. You made the transition. You told everybody. You didn't hide it. You don't bother with the leagues that don't want you there. You deal with the insults and trolls like a very decent. You don't fire back.
Well, my inner voice says a lot of things I can't repeat, but
of course, but that shows that you're a decent human being, right? I
try to be nice. I'm still trying to win the Good Sportsmanship Award. I don't think I'm ever going to get one, but I'm hoping maybe I'll get one of these days.
Okay. So I'm going to move on to, I have two very controversial questions. Okay. The first question is, and before we get to the controversial questions, I just want to let you know that I respect you greatly.
Thank you.
So I just do not want to get any, I don't want to, these questions to make you think that I don't respect you, I don't appreciate it, I don't like it. They're just the typical controversial questions.
Well, that's all right. Fire away.
Okay. Do you think that there is enough attention for women's athletics, professional athletes?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean by that?
Well, do you think that women athletes, female athletes get enough exposure as the male athletes do? Like whatever would be marketing or
I think it depends on the sport.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, in general.
No, because I think men have been in sports longer than women.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think women get as much exposure.
There's plenty of exposure when there's a trans woman in the league. They get all kinds of exposure.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to get at. Do you know who Laurel Hubbard is? You know who Laurel Hubbard is,
Yeah,
I'm sure, right?
I do. I've been watching a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's the New Zealand transgender Olympic weightlifter, and she's on the women's team.
Yeah.
So my next question.
She used to compete when she was a man, though.
Yes.
In the sport.
Yeah. My next question is, can either one of us name another girl on that team?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So my thing is.
But I also think any publicity is good publicity to a degree.
That is true. That is true.
If you can live with it. I mean, poor Hubbard's been taking it in the pants for a long time.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I don't even think she's that good.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know the numbers, but I do know that she
I mean, compared to the younger girls, it's like me. I'm not as good as like the 20-something Swedes. I mean,
yeah, that's just inevitable. But my point, my thing is, I don't think women get enough exposure. And then when there is a trans woman on a team, all the exposure.
They take all the limelight, don't they?
Yeah.
That's tough. I know what you mean.
Yeah, that seems to be where it goes. So that's one aspect of, for lack of a better term, not being fair, right?
Life isn't fair, my man.
Yeah,
you gotta learn how to deal with it. You have to make it as fair as you can, but there's no such thing as fair. Because if there was a fair, nobody, like if in racing cars, right? If it was everything was fair, everybody would finish at the same time, wouldn't they?
No, you're right, and I agree, and that's why the best that we could do in sports like arm wrestling or fighting or weightlifting is weight classes, right? Because
age classes too.
Right.
I've noticed that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Too. Okay. Age classes and weight class. That's the best that we could do.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, when there's a trans woman on a team, she usually takes the limelight away from the girls. Now, like you said,
what I don't agree with the trans people on the leagues is I think they should have to have surgery, and I think they should have to wait a couple of years before they're allowed to be on the team to make it as fair to the other girls.
Yeah,
because they do have an advantage to a degree.
Sure. Now, as far as advantage, explain to me. I know that your testosterone level is very low, and you're taking estrogen, and you've had had the surgery,
right?
But you've had the imprint of testosterone for 30 some odd years in your body,
right?
So explain to me how you would explain to a woman you're competing against. Like just pretend like I'm a girl that you're competing against, and I don't think it's fair. Explain to me how you justify it.
First of all, I want to know what you don't think is fair, and I'll try to explain it. So you tell me what you don't think is fair.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, do you think tell me what you don't think is fair about me competing. Do you think I have bigger muscles or just tell me what you think and I'll answer your question. Let's throw it like that.
Okay, so generally speaking, men have a larger bone structure, right? They usually have broader shoulders and so on and so forth. Generally speaking, they usually have a better reaction time. They have better impulse time. They're, especially in a sport like arm wrestling, usually your hands are bigger.
Right.
If you're taking estrogen, which you're taking estrogen, that usually estrogen preserves bone density, which is why women are so susceptible to osteoporosis as they get older, because the estrogen drops. So your bone density is still the same as of a man. Your hips are a different shape. Your hips are a different shape as a woman because of childbearing reasons, right? For a woman. So now, how would you explain it?
Well, as far as bone density, testosterone is what. Well, let's start with tendons, because tendons have a lot to do with strength, right?
Okay, sure.
And that's why that women tend to have more ACL injuries, because their tendons aren't as strong and they tear easier, right? Wouldn't you say? So
Sure.
without testosterone, your tendons get weaker. And without testosterone fuel in my blood, I don't have the energy. So I always refer myself as a V8 engine with a gallon gas tank. I just don't have any. I don't process oxygen like I used to, so I don't have endurance like I used to. And I do have bigger bone structure, but I'm also it's hard to move around now because I don't have the capacity to sustain that bone structure anymore. My muscle mass is shrinking because I don't have the testosterone there and things like that.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all in all, but I know what it's done to me over the years from having it and not having it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I
mean, it's not going to erase my hands, but I mean, I pull against a lot of genetic women and their hands are the same size as mine, if bigger.
Yeah.
So my doctor told me that I'm in the same levels as a woman my size, my age.
Okay.
After a couple of years, that's where I'm at. So, of course, if I'm going to compete against a woman that's half my size, a genetic woman my size would kick the pants off a woman her size. So
sure.
But there's always going to be people that just think it's not fair, whether it's they have a immoral or they just truly believe it ain't fair. I don't know. It goes back and forth. There's not a lot of evidence either which way. I just know what I could do before and what I can do now.
On Sunday, I watched you arm wrestle, and it was impressive. It really was. The whole thing was
loss I took for my first match. I weren't too good.
Yeah, but you recovered quickly and you won the whole thing. So what that big deal, You wind up winning the overall.
I was pretty happy how I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I was able to beat the girl that I never beat before, and I was able to get a left-handed win on Michelle that she's been kicking my pants for like 10 times now, left-handed. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to get her, and she's 40 pounds lighter than I am. So
and
a year older. I'm like,
Michelle is no joke.
I know, right?
Michelle is no joke. So that was my next question. So Michelle is a world champion, one of the best in the world, right?
She's a world champion. She hasn't won a world championship.
That's right. You're 100% right. She is a WAL champion. That's right.
But she's definitely world elite level.
Yeah, she's definitely elite level.
I would have to say that as far as middleweights in the country, I don't think there's anybody that can beat her with either arm.
In the United States, yeah. I think the only girl she has trouble with is the Canadian girl. What's her name? Angela Rose is the only girl she has trouble with.
Yeah, I think she won the right hand and Angie beat her left-handed.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to beat Angie either arm yet. I'm still a work in progress on that.
So. Yeah, these are the best girls in North America. So So you beat basically the best girl and one of the two best girls in North America, right?
Yeah, but she's not even in my weight class.
That's true. You're much bigger than her. Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to brag about winning on somebody that you outweigh them by 40 pounds.
No, you happen
victory for me because she's always beat me.
Yeah, no, you happen to be right. When you competed against the men, were there any elite arm wrestlers like in as elite as Michelle, only in the men's classes that you were able to beat?
No, I beat amateurs, really, if I'm being honest.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I couldn't beat a pro man. I couldn't. It's just not happening. So
Okay.
I'd only be fooling myself to think I could. So
Yeah, listen, the honesty is respectful. It truly is. The honesty is respectful, and honesty going either way, right? Like I was interviewing Nancy Locke, and I said, "Do you think there's any American girls that could beat you?" And she goes, "In my weight class, no."
I
I
don't
was like,
think there is
"Okay,
either. I
yeah."
haven't met Nancy. We've talked on the phone a lot. She's real sweet. I like her, but
She
uh,
really is. I mean,
I haven't seen anybody that would beat her.
and she doesn't look like much, but my God, is she
Older than me
strong?
too. We're all
Is
in
she,
our 50s. Believe
yeah,
that.
yeah. Women for some reason get stronger as they get older. I think, and it's strange. It's complete opposite of men because the same thing happens in powerlifting and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Women in professional bodybuilding get better after the age of 40, and men decline. They're pretty much done after 40. And the same thing with powerlifting.
But isn't the powerlifting is drugs is pretty well uh used
it
in that world, ain't it?
yeah, powerlifting and bodybuilding. Unless you enter a natural show.
Yeah, but
Um,
I mean, there
yeah,
is no such. There's
it's
people in there that aren't natural too.
yeah, it's a lie detector test. Like it's
Yeah,
it's 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 nothing. It's nothing. It's like it's an
it
unspoken
seems to be
law.
quite accepted, actually.
Yeah, it is. It's an unspoken law, and everybody uses it. Everybody uses it. But I interviewed Rita West, who is one of the strongest women in the world, and at 145 pounds, 48 pounds, she squatted 675. 675. And
But you're
I
gonna pay for that sooner or later, right? I
oh
mean,
yeah, I can only imagine the injuries that she has. And she put on 15 pounds and she was 160 or 12 pounds and she squatted 705. I mean, there were girls that are, over 200 that could do that, but she did that at 148. And that record still holds today. And she did that in 2013. That was really impressive. Really,
but
really impressive.
strong men don't transfer well to arm wrestling for some reason.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Well, did you hear the story about how I was introduced to arm wrestling?
No,
Oh, so
feed
what
me a
happened?
story.
Yeah, so what happened was I was always a big bodybuilding fan and powerlifting fan. So one of the best powerlifters in the world is Leroy Walker. He has a tremendous bench press, and he has the American strict curl record, right? So I follow him on Instagram. I actually interviewed him too. I follow him on Instagram, and I see him arm wrestling somebody, right? I see him arm wrestling somebody, and Leroy Walker is like got to be 200, at least 250, 260. He's a big boy, and this guy benches almost 700, and he has a strict curl world record of 226. He's a beast, and he's arm wrestling somebody who's half the size. Can't move him. Just can't move him. And
Yeah,
then I could see, this guy is arm wrestling him, and he's like telling him what to do. I could see he's telling him what to do, but he's all calm. And Leroy Walker's like fucking trying. I'm like, Jesus Christ, who is this guy? He's arm wrestling. And then after some time, whoever was arm wrestling him just slowly just put him down like it was nothing. So I was like, I got to figure out who this guy is. So I
right.
find out who it is, and it was Paul Lynn.
Oh,
And
Paul, yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing.
and I Instagrammed him right away. I DM'd him right away. I was like, dude, you have to let me interview
Let
you.
Let me tell you a quick story about Paul.
Okay.
So there's a truck stop. He used to live in Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm.
He's since moved, and the truck stop was a couple miles from his house. And I said, "Hey, I'm at the truck stop. Can you get a practice in? Because he does football." And he said, "Yeah, I'll come
Yeah,
pick
that's
you
right.
up."
That's right.
So he comes and picks me up at the truck stop, and we go to his house, and he's got a couple students that he's training to arm wrestle, and so we get on the table there and practice for about an hour or so, and then he brings me back. He's the nicest guy. I never met him before in my life.
Really is. I mean, as soon as I messaged him, he's like, "Yeah, when do you want to do the interview? No problem."
Yeah,
Like I'm
super nice.
I'm constantly sending messages out to get interviews. And I want elite people. I want people like yourself, like Michelle, like Paul. And in bodybuilding, I want, try to get the best of the best. Same thing in powerlifting, so on and so forth.
Right.
Most people just ignore it, but I've gotten people that wanted to get paid to be on here, and
So
I'm
did
like,
you hear back from Michael? Michael's a dear friend of mine. I don't.
my
He probably would come on.
Michael who?
Michael Todd, the monster.
I messaged him several times, and I could tell that he saw it. But he seems to be a busy dude. Like I
He's
messaged
very
him.
busy.
Yeah, I messaged him. It was right before he was in.
He's out riding around in his RV, doing
Yes,
his thing. So
yeah, he was right before Dubai, and then I messaged him when he got back from Dubai, and he did hit me back and say, okay, maybe we could work something out. So of course I hit him back right away. I was like, yeah, please, whatever you want. And then I could see that he saw it, but then I saw that he's in his own RV. I think he's with his wife and he's traveling the country and
yeah,
making stops and
he's
so on.
probably the only other person that takes as much hate in arm wrestling as I do. and that's how we developed our friendship, I think. So
now, what did you think about that? What did you think about that match in Dubai? Because he didn't look like himself.
Oh, I don't know, but I have traveled out of the country before, and it affected me a lot. But
That could be it. Yeah,
he traveled so much. I don't know, does it bother him? But you got to
yeah.
give Devin props. He really prepared for this, and
Oh my God! I mean,
sometimes.
yeah, because I've watched the two of them, the two that they had in WAL when Devin won one and Michael Todd won one, and so I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome, and I was watching it and I said, something's wrong here. Like I thought he was hurt. I thought he was
never know. He could have been.
Yeah, because he did not look like himself. But you're right. It might be the traveling. I mean, that's a long plane ride.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but
was it 18 hours or something like that?
Huh?
I think it's like an 18-hour plane ride or something stupid like that. It could be.
Oh, I've only been to Poland, and that was 15 hours or something. Oh, it was a 10-hour plane ride, I think, total. But
yeah,
it was as far as I've ever been.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like that's rough. That is rough. You're right. That could definitely do it. I didn't even think of that. But when I was
Devin's a technician on the table, he knows what's going on. So,
yeah, I would.
Devin ain't nothing to be afraid of.
No. It's like losing a fight to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like, really, he's the greatest that ever lived. Who cares? So, but you're lucky you got in the ring with him. Give me a break, And Devin's like that kind of arm wrestler. He's like that guy that comes around once in a while. Oh, now, but I understand that John Brzezinski is making his return and he's arm wrestling. I forgot his name. He's arm wrestling.
Chance Shaw?
Yes.
My man Chance. I tell you what, I'm a fan of that dude for sure. He ain't bashful to be himself.
Say that again?
I remember I was arm wrestling Gabriella, but I can't pronounce her last name. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah,
but Gabby from Brazil. Yeah. She was over in Florida. She's coming down to Florida for PAF tournament. And I asked the guy if I could come compete, and he said I could. And so I almost forgot what I was talking about. So anyway, so she's there, and I sent you a picture of me and her.
Yes.
At the tournament.
Yes.
And she's just so sweet. Her and her husband was there, and they're awful nice people. So I'm arm wrestling, and it was getting ready for the final match. I made it to the finals. She had one win on me, so I had to beat her twice. And I look over, and she's on the practice table kicking the asses of all these guys. And I said, I says, you do know we have another match, right? She says, yeah. And I says, well, okay. And she's like, yeah, I'll be all right. And I'm like, well, I am certainly fucked now, because she's over there whipping the guys and doesn't even matter about me.
Yeah.
And it went just that way.
Yeah.
And
no, I
was done. So.
Yeah, she's no joke. They say that when she retires, she's going to be the greatest that ever lived as far as female arm wrestlers.
I think she will be.
She told me that she had the first state title at 12.
Yeah, she's got like 30 world titles.
It's unbelievable.
I hope I get to have one. Some people try all their career and they never get one. Some people don't even get a state title, and they want it real bad, but just isn't in the cards for them. So
sure.
But back to Chance. So here was this young kid over there in this Hawaiian shirt at this tournament. I didn't know who he was. And I don't even know how he did. I guess he did all right, but this is back in 2017, I think, or something like that. And now look where he's at now. He's whooping world champion, so I'm pretty amazed. But I said, hey, representing the old Hawaiian shirt, dude, I said, I like it. Just being yourself. You're not being what people think you got to be, So
what do you think is going to happen at that contest between the two of them, John Brzezinski and Chance Shaw?
Well, I think it all matters who gets in their position first. If
Okay.
John can control him, and I think he's going to try to take his hand away and go low on him and try to contain his hand and hook him, he'll probably win. If Chance can open up John's hand, which a lot of people have tried, he will win. So I don't know. It's youth against experience. It's always interesting to see how that works out.
So John Brzenk is considered the GOAT, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is.
How many crazy amount of titles does he have?
I don't know, but I know he used to work out at he trained at Toddzilla's house when Todzilla lived in Utah. And I'd go down and train with the guys down there.
Really?
Would pull for a couple hours in the basement. And I grabbed John's hand one day and I was like, it's like a gorilla paw.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It's not only big, it's still thick, And
yeah.
John's kind of shy, to be honest. So, but he's likable.
Yeah, I've never hopefully one day
anytime I send him a message, he'll respond back to me.
That's one thing.
We don't have anything in common, really. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that's great about the arm wrestling world. The people seem to be so down to earth and so friendly and willing to help. It is the complete opposite of the bodybuilding world.
Yeah. Well, not everybody's that way, but most everybody is.
I gotta show you this. I reached out to this one guy who has a bodybuilding podcast. I don't want to mention any names.
Show you this. You don't know how many times I've seen that before. I can't erase it from my head, but all right.
And all I did was ask him to come on my show and like either do an interview or do like a show together. And the message that he gave me was just like, I mean, honestly, people have turned me down and they just go, oh, I'm busy right now. I can't do it. Good luck to you. And I get it. Okay. No big deal. Or people just ignore the message, whatever. Yeah. This guy just shit on me. It was unbelievable. Really? And I'm like,
he's in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah. Completely different. And he just was like, I don't know how that's going to help. No, I'm not really into that. I don't want to do that. And he was just, because I was throwing like suggestions at him, and he was just basically being a dick. Like instead of just going, I'm sorry, man, I can't do it. It was he goes, well, what do you want to do? And so I was like, well, we could talk about this bodybuilding show that's coming up. I don't do that. I don't even know who's in the contest. All right, so I'll fucking tell you who's in the contest. It's not difficult.
So pretty much you couldn't further his career and he didn't want to pay any attention to you.
Exactly. It's 100% right. There was nothing in it for him because I'm this small YouTuber just starting out. And he was like, no.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I wanted to let you know I haven't got the check yet.
Oh, damn it. Okay. So, check's in the mail.
I'll hold you to it. I hope you're good for it. So
yeah, check's in the mail. I know. Don't worry about it. Robin, I'm going to let you go. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate you doing this. I respect you so much for being so honest and opening up about your life and your struggles. It was a tremendous interview. Really, I think a lot of people are going to be interested, and I think a lot of people are going to like this interview. It was really, really.
Just don't forget the de-aging.
That's right. I'll try. I'll do my best. I'll give it to I don't edit my own stuff. I pay somebody to do it. So I'll try it. I'll say, try to make this person look as young as possible.
I think I'm working with what I have. So
yeah, you look great. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah.
So hopefully I will be at another tournament in the future. We'll definitely get a chance to hang out again. And Robin, thank you again. I couldn't be more happy that you did this, really.
Oh, it's no problem. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
Oh, and I want to get invited when you have all of us back on for some Royal Rumble thing, if whatever you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. I'm
gathering,
trying. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I know
the Highlander, the gathering.
I know Michelle would do it. I know Nancy would do it. It's like
Gabby will do it.
The problem is with like Gabby and Malin is the time.
Got her name right.
I know, finally, yeah. After 14 people told me. Is the time zone difference.
Oh, yeah.
The time zone.
Got a hold of Thea. She's usually good about responding.
Who's that?
Thea Kleinsmith. I probably didn't.
No, the next.
I'm trying Kleinsmith, like she's related to.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'll ask her. But I interviewed her at 9:00 in the morning. It was 3:00 her time, 3 p.m. her time. So
yeah, it's 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. And the last person, the next person I'll be interviewing is woman arm wrestler will be Lisa Wolfe.
Oh, I got a story about Lisa if you want. We used to compete.
Go ahead. Go right
Yeah.
ahead.
So this was back when I was in stealth and I didn't want to tell anybody my history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And back in 2010, she won her first world title.
Mm.
And I always thought she was super hot and super nice, and I
She is
was just,
attractive. I actually said that to Blanca. I said it to Blanca. I
yeah,
said,
but
yeah.
unfortunately for me, she doesn't like girls. So, but yeah, so she just won her first worlds, and uh, I got to talk with her a little bit, and we went to training a little. We went to have some practices, and
Mhm.
and I was practicing with her, and she was so strong, and man, oh man, I'm telling you, I was awful impressed. And then eventually it come out my story and everything, and it come out that she told me that she used to be in prison, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, you're not doing that stuff anymore. I don't hold that against you.
Yeah.
And I honestly, last time I talked with her, I forgot that I don't even think of her that way anymore. So people can change, and I wish people would stop,
Understand that.
give people a second chance. Some
Yeah.
people actually do change. She's awesome. So tell her I said hey. I guess I just said hey anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And no, she really is. She was a sweet person. She wrote me back right away. She's like, here's my phone number, text me because I'm at work. And I texted her back
Yeah.
and she's like, I'll do it. Because she's making a comeback this year. I think she's gonna
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish her the best.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let her know that you said that, but she'll probably see this beforehand. All
Yeah. Hey, Lisa, I wish you the best. So,
right, Robin, thank you again. I appreciate everything you did.
all right. You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you got it. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.